Hey, hey, hey. I am late, but I'm here and I apologize. I had to finish up a few things. Um, Not going to be long tonight. I just wanted to talk about a couple of cases. And I am really happy that the first case I decided to cover since I've been back had a happy ending, and that is Charlotte Sena. So let's get into it. Let me get it pulled up here. So um, I had been following this case today and just like eating up everything I could find about it so that I could give a good presentation. And I just can't imagine like how the parents felt when they went to look for her and found her bike, but not her. I mean, I can imagine their heart sank through the floor. Mine would have, like, where's my child? So, anyway, here's this article on CNN if you want to look it up. It's parents of 9-year-old who went missing in New York. Camping trip received a ransom note before daughter was found. Now, that's one of the things that really kind of stuck out to me was that they found a ransom note or that somehow someone got a ransom note to them. So I'm thinking, and I was listening to Court TV, and apparently the ransom note was delivered to their home. So I don't think her abduction was random. I don't think it was just somebody out there who decided to take whatever kid they could get because they took the time to send a ransom note to the home of the parents. So they had to, like, how could they know the parents' address? You know, I'm sure with the resources available online that they could easily have found it. I could probably get on, do a little digging right now and find out the parents' address and previous addresses and phone numbers and everything else. But I don't know. I just have a feeling in this case that that's not what happened. That this was someone who was familiar with this family before they took Charlotte, and that Charlotte's abduction may have actually been planned. Whatever the ins and outs are, I'm just really glad that she's home, she's safe, she's in one piece, because we know how often these stories turn out gruesome or just lack of closure, like with Summer Wells, 27 months, and we don't know what's going on, where she is, what could have possibly happened with her. You know, Michael Vaughn, all that time missing, only to find out that something horrible had happened to him and he's no longer with us. You know, and his parents still don't have his body to lay to rest. So I'm really glad that this was not a case that turned out that way this time. All right. The other thing that I wanted to share, and guys, I'm just getting my feet wet, you know, getting back into the habit of being on here. So we're gonna do some short lives for a while. This is a story that I wanted to share, and I'm gonna share the screen too. Because I'm not gonna share sound because I'm not gonna play the video. Because when I read this headline, I had to read it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, wait, what? And then when I read the story, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This cannot be real. It says video shows officer repeatedly discussed charging 11-year-old victim with child sexual offense. Columbus, Ohio. A Columbus police officer summoned to the home by a father concerned his 11-year-old daughter was being solicited by an adult man repeatedly asserted that the girl could face charges for sending explicit images of herself. Body camera footage obtained by the Associated Press showed that September 15th interaction between the father and the two officers. The father angrily closed the door after one of the officers told him his daughter could face charges for producing or recording child sexual abuse images despite being a victim. The parent posted to TikTok a now viral security video of the conversation, which has generated widespread criticism of the police response. The officer's conduct was being investigated, as well as any crime that may have been committed against the girl. Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant said in a statement late Tuesday. She also said the department reached out to apologize for the father. Police have not released the father's name, and the AP does not identify victims of alleged sexual abuse or domestic violence. He didn't immediately respond to phone messages or on social media from the AP on Wednesday seeking comment. What officers said. Both the security video and the audio from the redacted body camera footage show the officers talking with the father outside of his home after midnight. He tells the officers his daughter is already asleep and that he had hoped they could help talk to her about the seriousness of the situation. The female officer, I cannot read tonight. The female officer quickly tells him that his daughter could be charged with creating sexually explicit content. The father protests and says she is a child who was manipulated by an adult, according to the police report. The father's TikTok video. The officer asked him if she was taking pictures, and the father ends the conversation. In the audio of the body camera footage, the female officer can be heard asserting again as she walks away from the house. She's taking pictures of herself naked. She's creating child porn. In the preliminary incident report, the officer lists the possible charge under investigation as pandering sexually oriented material involving a minor for creating or producing material, and cites a portion of the Ohio law that prohibits the creation, recording, or publishing of child sexual abuse materials. A separate portion of the law that wasn't cited prohibits knowingly soliciting, receiving, purchasing, or possessing that material. In a statement Tuesday, the police chief repeatedly referred to the 11-year-old as the victim of a crime. She said the officer's conduct did not live up to her expectations, that the officers treat every victim of crime with compassion, decency, and dignity. What the records show. The AP also obtained the audio from the father's police call and dispatch log with notes called in from the responding officers. According to the dispatch log, the father called 911 around 6:50 p.m. on September 14th and was told that they would send a female officer. He called again about 7:50 p.m. to say that the response was taking too long. The officer showed up at the family's home more than 5 hours later, after midnight, on September 15th. Video footage shows the father informing the officers his daughter is asleep and saying he wasn't sure what they could do. The police report identifies the officers as Kelsey Schneider and Brian Weiner. A number listed for Schneider went straight to voicemail. Weiner answered a call but asked the reporter not to contact him. The notes from officers in the log and in the incident report placed blame on the father for ending the conversation before they could discuss possible outcomes, saying he became immediately upset. Remaining questions. Despite the police chief's statement referring to the child as a victim, Columbus police have not responded to questions about whether or not she could still face charges. A police spokesperson has also not answered whether any other children have faced charges in Columbus under Ohio's laws about child sexual abuse material. It was unclear whether the department has a policy regarding charging minors with those crimes. Police said the actions of officers was referred to the Inspector General's office and are under review. One of the responding officers wrote in the incident report that she had contacted detectives in a sexual assault section, citing the severity of the crime and the lack of cooperation, and had been advised to take a miscellaneous incident report. It was unclear why an officer from the sexual assault section or child exploitation division did not respond to the call as well as why the response was so delayed. So that's a lot to take in. I'm still just highly shocked that they would even threaten to charge her. Now, under certain circumstances, I could see a child being charged. Let's say they were trading naked pics, and one got upset with the other and decided to share these pics with a bunch of other people. I could see it in that situation. But an 11-year-old who has been groomed online and manipulated into doing this thing should not fear legal repercussions, criminal repercussions for reporting abuse or exploitation. It just really doesn't make sense. Like, this is not a situation where that law should even be discussed, let alone threatened. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Just a quick video. Wanted to put some stuff on your mind. Really, really super excited and happy and overwhelmingly joyful that Charlotte Sena was found safe and that she is back with her family, that we have the best outcome that we could hope for in that situation. Really angry, frustrated, and completely befuddled by the fact that the police thought it was a good idea to threaten to charge an 11-year-old sexual exploitation victim with a sex crime. And the fact that they won't even comment whether or not she could still be facing charges just kind of adds to that frustration, because how hard is it to say she's a victim and we're not going to charge her with any crime? I mean, it's really simple. So I will see you guys again Sunday night. And just in case if I miss Sunday nights, I will hop on Monday sometime either in the afternoon or at night. You guys have to forgive me for Sunday. I had a very, very, very busy weekend and I crashed out, and that was just it. I was asleep, knocked out, sleeping like a baby. Thanks for watching the video. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you. Good night.